Yayın birazdan başlayacaktır. On, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Başlıyor. Şu anda hiçbir şey yok ama dur. Ekran görüntüsü göstereyim. Ne yapıyorsunuz? Neyse ben de o anda bugün Stanley Parable bugün The Stanley Parable oynayacağız. Nerede lan? Heh. Evet. Şimdi açalım. Ne oluyor lan? Heh. Chat ortaya geldi. Dur. Şimdi ben buradan şey yapayım. Oyun yakalama. Tamam. Heh. Tamam. Yakaladı mı? Bu ne lan? Oyun gözükmüyor. Niye bu kadar az kişi var lan? Şimdi gözüküyor mudur? Dur bir dakika. Ha dur. Şunu şuraya alayım. Ananı monitör. Ulan. Buradan bakarım. Şuraya gel. Oyun gözüküyor ama şu chat'i çek. Ben bu oyunu döverim. Olan chatten bir bok göremiyorum ki. Neyse biz başlayalım. Şuradan da bu videoya bakayım. Maalesef böyle gözüküyor. Neyse. O niye kimse izlemiyor lan? Ama neyse. Ben yine de oynayacağım. İşte bu Stanley isimli bir adamın hikayesi. Stanley büyük bir binadaki firma için 427 olarak çalışıyordu. İşçileri işte ya okuyun. Geçiyorum lan şurayı. Geç. Aha.
his co-workers were gone.
Manyak.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Buraya lan. Ha, kapattım. Şuralara da bir bakayım. It is this petico.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Solda kapı şu. Ya da sağdan mı gitsek? Yok soldan gidelim. Ula şunda mikrofon kız.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Patron ofisi. Ne yazıyor lan? Diyor. Bu da yazıyor öyle. Sıkıntı. Oğlum bu ne?
Stanley stepped into the broom closet.
Ama orada hiçbir şey yok. O da arkasına dönüp az. Bana ne duracağım?
There was nothing here.
Burada şişe yok. Ne yapılacak? Bir şey çıktı.
Just an empty broom closet. No reason.
Ya çıkıyorum oğlum.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Tamam yukarıdan. İlk bir normal sonu yapak. Hem orası değildi. Şurasıydı. Lan. Az önce ne oldu?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
Bu ne?
Shocked,
Şifre.
unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him?
Benim bilgisayar şeyi kapanmıştı. O yüzden yapmıştır.
Behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret pin number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Lan, şifre neydi? Şifreyi göremedim. O burada yazıyor mu? Yazmıyor.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
2, 8, 4, 5. 5.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly...
Bir dakika. Şu şey... Ekran görüntüsü gözüküyor mu? Gözüküyor. Şu OBS şuraya alayım. Şuradan da kapatayım. Kapanmıyor ya. Ne oluyor lan? Instagram'dan başladık.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Neyse.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his... Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Bir şey oldu ya, dur. Giderim böyle işe.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Quelle surprise.
Ne oluyor lan? Oh.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself. The nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
He? Akıl kontrol ne? Akıl kontrol bilmem ne.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of the in the building, Stanley's co-workers, the lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. Control facility. It was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control?
Asla.
It was unthinkable.
Hayır. Şimdi değil. Lan tüm hayatını dünyaya karşı kör ve biçimde mi geçirdi yani? Aha.
The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad.
Yapamıyor ki. Yapmaya çalışıyorum. Bir şeyler oluyor.
or
oyuna devam et.
walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for
Ne oldu lan? Bir şey görüyorum. Aha ilerliyorum.
blackness and a
Karanlık
rising chill of
içeride bir
uncertainty.
ürperti.
Was it over?
Bitmiş miydi?
Yes.
Evet.
He had
Kazanmıştı.
He had defeated the
Makineyi
machine.
yenmiştik. Kendisini başkasının buyruğundan kurtarmıştı. Özgürlük sadece birkaç adım ötedeydi.
Mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not the power that he had been seeking,
Haydi.
but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know.
Özgürlük edecek şey burada. Belki de bir kadar değer çok şey.
Stanley stepped.
Stanley açık kapıdan adamını attı.
Stanley felt the cool
Malzemeden gideceğiz. Telefon yanıyor.
immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley
Ve Stanley mutluydu. İyi son. Şu ekran niye düzelmiyor ya? Hele ki mouse niye bu kadar büyük?
all of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley
Tak.
decided to go to the meeting room.
Başka bir son yapacağız. Yani sonsuza kadar sürebilir belki de. Kaç saniye olmuş bakamıyoruz.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Sağ.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Nereye?
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Speedrun mı yapıyoruz?
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left. Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake. No,
Lan.
no, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Oo, neredeyiz ya biz?
No. This isn't right at all. Yet this is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to Oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish.
Arap saçına döndü.
Story completely
Tabii ki kurtaramazdım onu.
Rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, hmm? Okay, From the top.
He? Neyse.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Şimdi bakak. Aha. Bu ne lan? Dur, kapı eklemiş.
Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... What, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay then, it's an adventure. Come, Stanley, let's find the story.
Nereye gidiyoruz hiçbir fikrim yok. Lan.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Aha. Şimdi ne
All of
yapacağız?
his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
He? Kapı yok.
It's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
İşte. Ne?
Aha! I knew we'd missed something.
Bu ne lan?
Story. Here it comes. No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay.
Kayı.
Away and retrace our steps.
Takip edelim. Bir daha bir deneyek. Lan. Ben geri gidiyorum. Burası neresi?
Now this... Well, I'll be honest. I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office
Oğlum
building.
bence burası ofis ama
Is that correct?
eski hali.
Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know
Yes.
what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off. So, good job. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations.
Onlardan biri değil.
Okay? I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Mouse niye bu kadar bir... Ok işareti ne?
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable adventure line. Just follow the line. How simple is that? You see?
Biz
So
nereye
I
getiriyor?
know where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no
Bu beni
story
nereye
there?
getiriyor?
Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself?
Ne oluyor?
Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that.
Nereye gidiyorlar?
You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Bu ne oğlum? Çok da rahatlatıcıymış ya. Bu ne oğlum? Bu ne biçim şarkı?
Cut the music, go back and look at that fern.
He? Yo, bana ne?
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No, no, no. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
Dur ya, geri dönek. Ne diyor oğlum?
Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Açılmıyor bu. Fuh. Neyse ben geri gidiyorum. Ah, kafam. Çok kötü karıştı. Osmo geldi, kafama uçtu.
Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... No, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Yine.
You know what, Stanley?
Uh-huh.
I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up something exciting, daring, mysterious, cool? This all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in right way? How about this direction?
Aa. Videoda Bakers'tayız gibi gözüküyor.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it. Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
La la la la la la la. Ne patiros zipidi. Ah, gitti.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse
Ben dönüyorum, ne
door
yapacaksın?
that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
He?
Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending. And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times?
Ne?
That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why do I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on.
Niye
I don't
başlatmıyorsun
want
lan?
to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped. Does that mean did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination
Bir tane
or
de
the
şey yapıp
journey, though they're
çıkacağım.
always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime,
Ne oldu lan? Neyse bitti. Kapa.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go anywhere except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
Tamam, bu kadardı. Oh be. Evet arkadaşlar, bu yayında bu kadardı. Bugünlük bu kadardı. Hadi görüşürüz. İyi bir oyundu. Ve bay bay.